Karibu sana katika studio yangu. Ni Joel Chesmed, kipindi hiki cha mawasiliano, tukisikizana mimi na wewe, talking to one another, tukiweza kujadiliana maisha ya wanariadha wetu, mbalozi wetu, mashujaa ambao wanatuletea furaha huku Marekani, huko Ulaya na hata hapo kwetu Kenya. Nashukuru sana kwa vile umenipa nafasi hii uweze kunisikia nami nikusikie, ukisubscribe, ukilike na ukinipa salamu kwa njia zote. Welcome to this episode number 33, my friend. 34? I have no idea. I think I'll say it's 33 because 33 sounds like a triunity. Because we are united, we are one people. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. I'll just go down the greetings, salutations, blessings, na zote pale tunaweka uwanja huu. It's Sunday over here in Northwest. It's been sunny, it's been nice. I had a good lunch today with my dear wife. And for that reason, I'm in a good mood. So because I'm in a good mood, I decided to avail myself for some, what I call the path to maybe excellence as far as humanity is concerned. Whether we have excellence as a human beings or not has yet to be decided, because the universe is just watching and appreciating and applauding. So, what is on the menu today? I think I have a few things, and if you are listening, and if you've been listening, it might have to do with athletes from Longonot, or from Marakwet, or from Eldoret, Elgeyo Marakwet, or Nyahururu, or I don't know, Makueni, I don't know, those every corners, the four corners, pembe zote za nchi ya 254, nchi tukufu sana. So, let me just start from this beginning. Why not? Oh, well, let me drop the bomb. Let me drop the athletic bomb. Some disgraceful stuff happening in the home of the champions. I predicted this. I can see it. The writings were on the wall. I called it out before it happened. Politicians will always take opportunities of glory away from the real glorious people of athletes and turn it into lampooning, making political stunts, turning the home of the champions into a city to gain that political mileage. Man, handouts, man. Sometimes you watch some of these things, you're like, when is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop? But that's our nation, man. We love it as it is. We've accepted it. We've normalized a lot of rubbish. And it didn't surprise me that the whole occasion of parading our athletes, photo ops with our athletes had other intentions than what I thought was going to be. I always give people a chance, but every chance you give these Kenyan dishonorables and deplorables and goons and they lampoon us, they just throw it right at our faces. And they go ahead and commission some Jua Kali dude to come up with these statues for athletes. It only took an international outcry all the way to New York Post, say that was an outcry of the quality of the symbols and statues, and I'll call it effigies, because that was low, man. That is disgraceful. That is disgusting. That is just shame. Shame, shame, shame. This idea that Kenyans can make anything out of themselves sometimes, mostly on this, with a political twist, is just a joke. When can we learn, huh? You have a leaking airport. You have roads to nowhere. You have roads that have been siphoned, being mismanaged, bridges that they are only commissioned, or I don't know, they are done, then and they say they are open. The next thing you know, there's no bridge. We've done things that are just embarrassing. It's just pure embarrassment. You can't even put a statue of Eliud Kipchoge that looks like him. What a shame. That's an embarrassment. That's an indictment of a rotten people. Stop it. Just don't even put any cameras on that nonsense. How do you draw Kali an image or a statue, whatever you want to call it, of Eliud Kipchoge and Faith Kipyegon having a flag that look like, you must be kidding me. Wow. From Paris to nowhere, I was going to say from Paris to paradise. If that is paradise, the home of the champions, let's just stop it. The same leaders who could not even fix the airport are the same nonsense guys who are trying to commission something in the home of the champions. Wow, what a political, I don't know, man. It's anyway, that's it. I'm done. I checked out. I don't know. It doesn't stop. It won't stop. It won't be the last. But somebody has to say something, because I've been praising, applauding, giving my time, my space, my love, my flowers to these wonderful women all over Kenya. And what do they get at home? This disgrace form of, it's just pathetic. Man, you get tired. There's a fatigue to this nonsense. There's fatigue to madness. Mismanaged, either is just, I don't know. Yeah, listen. I'm not the one who's gonna declare what it is. It is what it is, okay? But I would say is just stop it. Just stop it. In fact, it's so bad that some countries whom these athletes have gone to, they've maybe gone to other foreign countries. They want even to, they want to create statues for them, something that they can say they honor these people. Yet, is that all we could do for these athletes in the home of the champions? These effigies, we are lampooning them. We are almost like creating cotton boxes with their faces on it and saying, wow, there they go, look at them. This great, right? It's commissioned. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, episode 33 is Joel Chestnut. I have to rant. I have to call out madness when I see it in the world of athletics in Kenya. But let's transition to beauty, because beauty can be found in places. When you look behind you, there's always something to look back to. And I'm still on the theme of women and women liberation athletics in Kenya. I'm sticking to that theme. I don't know how long I'm going to do it, because we have to we have to kind of neutralize the madness. We need to sanitize the ecosystem of athletics in Kenya in terms of trying to bring something more beautiful, something more worthy of our time and effort and reflection. Have you heard of a lady, Tecla Loroupe? Have you heard of her? Have you? Tell me, what do you know about her? Who is she to you? You know, she's a matriarch. She's a queen. She's the mother of all the young athletes we see today. I'm going to make that point very loud. She's what? The matriarch. She's the mother. She's the queen from Elgeyo Marakwet. I met this woman. I met her, 1997. She's coming out of a massage from a therapist who was my therapist. And I looked, and there was Tecla Loroupe. I'm 6'2". I'm a tall guy, according to some people. She is 5 feet, so I had to look down. And I could not believe whom I was looking at. I was looking at the great New York marathon winner 3 times. At one point, she had the world record for the marathon. I think in the 90s, she was as great, and she's still as great. And I remember looking at her and had nothing to say, but just smile. You see, have you met people whom you've always seen on TV, you know they're great? She looked to me like a BMW X5, those She just has a small body, but you know what's inside that body is an engine that can just keep going. Not only is she that great in running, she gave me a handshake that told me she's a good person. 1997, Tecla Loroupe. She was this close to me, and I looked from my 6'2". Back then I was in shape too, by the way. Don't count this guy out, but shape, whatever that shape is. Tecla Loroupe. I remember seeing her. She just finished her massage. She's 5 feet. Back then she was 88 pounds. Do you know what 88 pounds look like? I don't know what kgs that is in those in the European scales and Kenyan scales. That's a small woman, so you might think, until she gets on any running surface, and she was gone. I blink Tecla because I'm going to dedicate this to Tecla Loroupe. She's a woman of grace, a woman who she's become a philanthropist. She's a champion of peace in one of the most marginalized part of Kenya, the Pokot Nation. The Pokot people are just like an afterthought in Kenya. I read something about her upbringing that tells me why she is who she is. She's a woman who pretty much decided, you know what? This is how people do things here. I won't do it that way. I'll be radical. And she is. Because in a family of almost 20, I think her father has 4 wives. That's how polygamy works. Traditionally, she's supposed to get married, have kids. But very early in her life, she decides, no, that's not me. I'm going to charter my path to success. I'm going to find my way in this universe to what I want to be. She says one time, quite touching moment she had in her life when she was in primary school, that she was told to do a sporting event. She was told to compete with men. She refused. For punishment, she was made to kneel for 5 kilometers on her knees. Listen, I don't want to be the one showing you that picture, but that's the world she grew up in. At one point, she decides, I'm going to start being an athlete. I'll run. She runs against boys back in the days. She runs. She makes them look bad. So she evolves, and later she goes to school. She's still athletic. She talks about her passion for mathematics, and eventually she goes into accounting. The Kenya Post Office, I remember I've seen Tecla here, but I've seen her in Kenya too. So it's a very small statue person, but you can't miss to see the largeness, the massiveness of her humanity in that petite woman. So I remember these 2 areas I've seen her. So she decides to pursue a career in accounting, and I think she joins the Kenya Post Office back then. I think she's still, I don't know, she retires now. But eventually those corporations allowed her to migrate to Germany, where she finds a home in the foreign land, where she is more freer to do what she wanted to do. And she's as successful as you can look at it. I'm profiling her because this is a woman who defied cultural expectations. She defied all the traditions. In an area where there's perpetual unrest, Pokot or West Pokot, that part of Kenya, has always had issues. So she emerges out of this environment, and it seems to create a human being who is willing to go wherever it takes her. In fact, I read so much about her that I kind of don't want to repeat it here. You can read it anywhere else. But there's a point where her career in running almost comes to an end because of injuries. And they were very worried about her, that she might never walk. But she kept going. She went, to me, I'll say she continued running, because in running, you might be running from something, but you may end up somewhere. She ran through all those cultural stop signs that are there for women in those parts of the world. The prohibitions, you can't do this, you're a woman, so you are pretty much relegated, subservient, or you're subjugated to this kind of a cocoon created by the patriarch world and sometimes supported by the matriarch world. Tecla Loroupe defiles. She becomes to other people radical. But she wasn't radical. She was building her ecosystem. She was building her ecosystem, which has created Tecla Loroupe's foundation of peace and all that can bring to that world that she grew up. She's gone back home. She's given back her soul, a work of that she's done all these years. I remember seeing her. I didn't see this part of her. So, Tecla Loroupe speaks to the women at large in Kenya that are always being held back. They're always being constitutioned in a way that is not who they are. They are being told this is where you belong. You can't do anything other than just that. The dictates of the society has always tried to tell the Teclas of these Loropes that you're just maybe a sexual being, that you should do this and that. Tecla Loroupe, I'll say this, she is not the biggest woman if you encounter. She said no. She said no. And you know one thing I read about her, I'll quote verbatim. She says, African women know to live with pain. Wow, they know. I don't know about you, man. I don't know about you, woman out there. African women know how to live with pain. They know how to live with it, but they know how to channel it too. Tecla Loroupe, the matriarch, the queen. Tecla Loroupe, the woman that has been underrated. Tecla Loroupe, the champion from West Pokot. Tecla Loroupe. Wow. I'll say Tecla all day because 5'2", 88 pounds, I don't know. You know what she's done? She's changed a society, one soul at a time. Because in athletic world, she faced a lot of barriers. She talks of a story where she was living in Germany with roommates from Kenya who kept telling her, wash our running outfits. When they swear they do all this, they'll bring it to her and she'll be like, okay, I guess I'm a woman. This is what I should be doing. One day she snapped. They brought a pile of dirty clothes from running and all that. She stood back and she was shocked. She told him, hell no. I'm not a maid. I'm an athlete like some of y'all. I'm not doing this. It's time to say no to the baggage, to the nonsense people are piling on us. It's time to say no to politicians who use athletes to promote themselves. It's time to say no when you know the system is abusive and exploitative. Tecla Loroupe, the legend. I'll call her the GOAT. I mean, Eliud Kipchoge comes, but there's a matriarch in Tecla Loroupe. This woman, to me, I dedicate episode 33 to Tecla Loroupe. In fact, I think there's a name. Let me just call all her names out. Hold on a minute. I'll do it because I like to honor her. It's Tecla Loroupe Chepkite. Tecla Chepkite Loroupe. The universe is a better place because we have Tecla Chepkite Loroupe from West Pokot. It was a privilege for me to see her back in the days when she was a force to reckon in marathon. Even now, she's a force to reckon in her place in the universe, in West Pokot and the rest of the universe. To you, my friend, to you, my sister, to the matriarch, the queen, this universe applause you and applaud.